So I've already made a similar video about a week ago arguing that you should probably play the PlayStation 4 version of the game on your PS5 or the Xbox One version on your Series S and X, unless you're really hung up on creating your own stadium. Here we have sounds of the show, though, if you use the current gen version of the game. So that's the proof that I'm on the actual PS4 version of the game on my PS5 and not playing the PS5 version. I did not know this part here. If you go to user settings and you go to audio video, by default it's unbalanced, which is 1440p. Now, some people may not notice the difference, but definitely on faster at 1080p, it's a lot more jagged. Well, the main point of this video is that on sharper at 4K, it is 60 FPS on the PlayStation 5. The rendering, the colors, and all that all seems to be literally identical. So even more so, am I confused about what is it that you're getting for actually playing the PS5 version of the game? And I've played it, and apart from the slightly faster, loading times, I am just completely thrown off by what the benefit is. I just legitimately don't get it. That one looks like we're in jail there. Don't mind me as I just try to let's do this. Yeah, let's look at some mountains. We'll do fast play, quick counts. Nah, we don't need to do that. And we'll do some rain. We'll go ahead and well, he might need to relax. Well, too bad. We're going to skip that. So I'm really happy because last year's game, I don't remember if the PS4 version of the game ended up giving you all of those 3 video settings. I know that on the PS5, there's no settings whatsoever. And then you can kind of see for yourself a little bit, the draw distance, the crowd. It's like, is there a difference? Honestly, I'm not here to argue that there is or isn't potentially some further changes that I'm just not noticing. But that's kind of the whole point. If I can't tell from playing the PS5 version to the PS4 version, then this is the game for me. And why that makes a big deal, and I've talked about it before, never mind how shitty I am at the game here, is your PS5 or your Xbox Series S and X storage capacity for next-gen games. It's a lot more expensive to increase that than it is, Jesus, current-gen storage. So me getting just a regular hard drive to play PS4 games, much easier. So right now, this is actually on my external SSD.
The line to kick the pitch. Close, but called a ball. And that is ball 1.
And it's just beautiful, too, because compared to the other games in the series, there's sometimes some hiccups. Some little jank, if you will. And it's not always the smoothest frame rate. Whereas on this one, I just feel for a game that's still very fresh, even before the Day 1 update came out. Did it have a Day 1 update? I think it did. I know it had some updates. It's just been really smooth. The grass, everything, the animations, the physics, all appear to be the same. And I'm talking about that because if you play, let's say, for example, NBA 2K, and you have a PS5, you do not want to play the PS4 version of the game. There lies a much bigger difference. Like, it's night and day. Hell, physics are different. Gaming options are different. It's literally, truly a next-gen experience. Whereas for this game, with all due respect, it's not. I mean, I think the graphics are fine, but if I could be perfectly frank, they're last gen. I know people always say, bruh, PS4 and Xbox One, man, that's still current. Nah, bitch, what's current now is Series S and X and PS5. Next gen is PlayStation 6. Xbox Series Y or Z or whatever the fuck they're gonna call it. PS4 and Xbox One are the last generations that were made. I don't care if they're still currently supported. But, you know, that's just me arguing. Because I like to do that. In case you're curious what difficulty I'm playing on, when it comes to the batting, because I'm terrible at the game, I really am, and I don't give a shit, I have it on amateur. So beginner's the easiest one. I have it on amateur. Anything higher than that, and oh man, it gets really effing bad. And for pitching, I have it on all-star. I used to have it on legend, but they were hitting way... Whoops. They were hitting way too many home runs. I could never get a score in. So I found... Oh, what was that? So I found my own, if you will, balance, so that I can play the game, and I actually have a standing chance of winning the game. Again, if you play March to October, and I've talked about that, you cannot customize your difficulty from pitching versus batting. In the dirt, it looked more like it was in the nutsack. Unless they're dangling in the dirt, but that's another story for another day. And there's something strange about this game this year that I can't describe either. I find myself more engaged in the game. I'm finding I'm just enjoying the baseball game more than I was, you know, the last several years, honestly. Between the FIFA, soccer, NHL hockey, Madden football, 2K basketball, MLB The Show, baseball. With all due respect, this was the sport that, even though on paper I like one of the most because it's so different than most other sports, I played it the least. This one, I don't know what it is, because if I were to tell you what's the difference between this game and last year's game, I mean, apart from just a few subtle changes that everybody knows. You know, the perfect throws at all bases and that kind of shit. It really doesn't look or feel any different. But yet, somehow, I find myself really, really happy to play this game. Gonna do one more inning and then we're just gonna wrap it up. Another interesting note, if you're curious, of all the games that I play on PS4, PS5, you'll find this interesting.
And he's there with a double.
Did I make it? I did! Sorry. Oh, the Trout! Uh-oh. You fucked up, Trout. You've been downgraded to a tuna. Sorry, what I was saying before I got distracted is when I record games, whether it's on PC, PlayStation, with my same settings, you know, for 1440p, the settings never change. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here.
And they strike first as they take a 1-0 lead.
This game takes the absolute least amount of data per hour or per minute, whatever. I find that really, really interesting.
Makes the play, and there are 2 outs.
Oh, no.
Caught in a rundown now.
Oh, shit. Oh, I should have drop kicked him. Or given him an RKO out of nowhere, Randy Orton style. Whatever. This is what happens when I talk. I flap my gums 100 miles an hour. I don't get a chance to really focus, but that's okay. Come on, Trout. Make up. for your past failed deeds.
Now to the
You might be
plate, the
noticing that
pitcher,
my team is
Justin
severely
Steele.
imbalanced as well.
Wants it in
Like,
the air.
you know, what's up with that? Don't worry about it. I suck so much at this game, I'm okay with that. I need all the help I can from an all-star team. It's really that simple. Yeah, so whether it's American Truck Simulator, I'm actually going to end it here, to be honest with you, and I'll just talk for a quick minute without getting distracted. So in closing, if you're a content creator and you're playing hockey, which you wouldn't think would take that much data, again, there's not much going on in the scene compared to a game like Elden Ring or Grand Theft Auto. Again, with the same settings from game to game, it's not going to be the same amount of megabytes or gigabytes per hour when you're recording. It's going to be similar for the most part. MLB The Show is the absolute most noticeable smaller file size. It is ridiculous. I'm talking, it's almost 3 to 4 times, well, maybe not 4 times. It's about triple, not the size, like smaller. It's about 3 times smaller. She said the same thing. So it's fantastic for that, for some people that give a shit about that. So anyhow, there you have it. A little bit of rambling, a little bit of gameplay, and in the beginning, hopefully I explained it fairly quickly and got to the point, hopefully fast enough for you, that if you're on current gen, or I guess next gen, whatever, if you're on PS5 Series S and X, do yourself a favor and at least try the weaker game, if you will. Try the Xbox One, try the PS4 version. Play with those settings for the video. Put it on the sharpest 4K resolution. You're going to get that buttery smooth 60 FPS. How that's going to translate to YouTube, you may see the odd hiccup. That could have to do with the recording or how it got processed on YouTube. Maybe your internet lagged. Always remember, what you see on YouTube is a decent, at best, a good representation of what it would look like if it was on your screen, on your system, but it's never 100%. They compress it, which is why I fake upscale at 1440p, so that it tricks YouTube into going, oh, it's 1440p. All right, then we'll give them the better codec for the VP09. Otherwise, you see all the checkered on the field, the checkered, grass. Everything would be a lot more fuzzy. Everything would just be all over the place. You would think it was a PlayStation 3 game. That's how bad it can be with YouTube. So that's why I do that little trick. It takes longer to upload, longer to render, and to finally come through. But when you watch it, it's as close as it will ever get to being on your own television screen or monitor, so that you get a step up in it being more authentic to what it would be like I said, if it was your own experience, so that you can gauge more accurately as to whether or not this is the game for you, and if you should save yourself some storage space. Like I said, it's crazy to get a 2 terabyte or a 1 terabyte, compare a 1 terabyte that you need for the PS5 versus a 1 terabyte, even external SSD. The price is insane. So that's why that matters. And I'm just going to shut up now, otherwise, my rambling is going to end up being longer than the gameplay itself. But I wouldn't have been able to speak like this accurately if I was still playing the game. Someone would have gotten bonked in the nuts or something. So there you have it. If you liked the video and you even made it this far, tap yourself on the back, book an appointment with your psychiatrist. You're going to need it, the therapy. And if you, did I say it already? Yeah, if you liked the video, thumbs up. If you didn't like it, thumbs down. I'll bend it in half, break it off in your ass. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, I mean, obviously that would be great. But if not, hey, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care, and maybe I'll see some of you in the next video. Bye for now.